day after. I really feel like I got my cardio in yesterday in what we saw to be a brilliant win for Ineos Team UK to progress through to the final of the Prada Cup, the Challenger Series for the 36th edition of the America's Cup. Fantastic to be with you this morning to review a little bit more of the racing, hear from the teams themselves, and of course, talk about who might win. At the end of the day, this is the AC Chat and Wrap Show. So nice to have you all with us yet again. Wow, what a day. Not only was there some fantastic racing, I also got to wrap it all up with John Bertrand, one of my really good friends, a mentor, a spectacular sports person, an amazing leader, and gosh, someone who has a lot of insights into the America's Cup. Fantastic, and really looking forward to having a number of experts with us over the next few weeks so that we can really get into the depths of what the America's Cup, well, this edition of the America's Cup might look like and what's going on behind the scenes, because that's what we all want to know, really. So without further ado, let's hear from Ben Ainslie after he finished racing yesterday. He's very aware that they have won the round robin. They have gotten 3 weeks up their sleeves to work on their boat, their systems, their software, their foils, etc., etc. But he knows it's a long way to go.
It was a full-on race. It was one of the most exciting races I've ever been involved in, and we didn't have much time for preparation. We had a few issues with the control of the boat, but once you got into the race, it was just one of those fantastic battles that you have against great competitors. I think there were 9 lead changes or something like that. I think we lost count really through the race, and then coming down to the finish, just nail-biting port starboard cross. So I think the team did a fantastic job, and it was just a really a privilege to be a part of it. It was a challenge for us. We were struggling with our Cunningham control all through the preparation, and we actually had to call a 15-minute delay, which we get one car to call a delay. And that got us back into the race, but we were compromising that we weren't able to control that Cunningham, and so changing gears around the race course was difficult for us. And the Italians had a great race. They were, we know they're strong competitors, and it proved to be the case that we had just a fantastic race. And credit to the team for sticking to it. The boys getting the boat around the course, and we got there in the end. I can't say more for the team really, on and off the water. For the sailors, haven't had the best preparation for this competition. That's been well documented, but the way they've approached this, the time that we have had on the water, they're handling the boat really, really well as anyone else. And that's giving us the opportunities in these races to make the right decisions and come through. So, it really is a team effort to have sorted things out from where we were 3 or 4 weeks ago. It does. It means a huge amount. It's a lot of emotion there because everyone puts their heart and soul into these campaigns for 3 or 4 years, or for us, we've been at this America's Cup game now as a team for 5 or 6 years. And to win a race like that and get into the Prada Cup final, that means a lot to the guys. But that said, we've got to, remember that that's our goal is to try and win the America's Cup, and so one race at a time. So we'll take a lot from that win, but we know that we've got to keep getting in. We've got to keep improving, getting faster, sailing better if we're going to get through to the end.
Consummate professional, Sir Ben Ainslie. My goodness, they do have a long way to go, but that's a fantastic leg up and an amazing start. And it was a pleasure again to listen to the communication between Giles and Ben yesterday. Ahead out of the boat, is that the difference? Is it the grinding setup? Is it some sort of sneaky Mercedes, development that they've got going on? I mean, there's lots of theories out there, and I'd love to hear yours, so don't forget to keep your comments coming. Now, on the other side of the coin, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli were defeated. They now have to race on Friday against New York Yacht Club, and we are going to have a little bit of a look at the damage to the Patriot, American Magic's boat, this edition, but tomorrow we will speak more in depth with some of our boat builders to actually look at what's going on behind the scenes and what they had to fix. So I have a few images coming for you that we'll have a little bit of a look at, but we'll talk in more detail and probably at length tomorrow about what that looks like and what they've had to fix structurally. In terms of the mechanics and on the inside of software, I don't have any knowledge of that because I'm not in the teams and they keep that content very close to their chests. So I wish I could tell you more about what's going to happen to the inside of the boat, but I can't now. But I'm sure it will all come out at the end of this cup as it does, and you get all of the behind the scenes stories, how much they had to do here and there and everywhere. But Terry Hutchinson was also out and about after racing yesterday, and this is what he had to say on their racing, what's going to come up in the future, and when we can expect to see them back on the water.
Actually, the boats come into life pretty quickly. We've had the systems on inside the boat. We've had the foil can system turned on. Today, this morning, the panel that was going to cover the hull was delivered. Patriot was about a half a day ahead of that, which was great because the guys were ahead of the work schedule, and now they're putting the panel in, and then Tuesday, Wednesday we'll get the boat back into a state of sailing and look to be out on the water. Obviously, we have a hard deadline on Friday, so we got to get out on the water before that. But you can't thank everybody really enough. I mean, the Team New Zealand boat builders have been phenomenal. They work 24 hours for us, and our guys in the shed obviously are setting a new standard, and so we're looking forward to getting back into it. Well, we're going to be racing against Luna Rossa in the semifinals, and obviously they're a very good team. They're very well polished. They have a very fast boat, and so we've got a couple obstacles in front of us to get the boat back out on the race course. But I'm confident once we do that we have a equally as good boat in Patriot, and it's going to make for some exciting racing. So from a team perspective, we watched the race today, and I think we're all, well, I can't speak for everybody. I'm a bit cranky because I hate watching sailing, and especially when you're supposed to be out there. But, Luna Rossa sailed a great race today, and so did Ineos. I mean, it came down to the wire, so we know they're both great teams. I think we have to make sure we maintain a certain level of consistency. We got to sail the boat in the way that we've developed her, the way that we know how to race it, and stay committed to the process that we race the boat. And I'm confident in us, and I'm confident if we do that, we'll keep the train moving forward.
Excellent insights from Terry Hutchinson there, not Francesco Bruni. I was in a bit of a rush this morning. I was having a chat on Clubhouse with a bunch of amazing sailors, and a shout out to anybody from Clubhouse who might be watching. So, I guess that's what happens when I rush. Terry should forgive me. I'll text him and let him know. Anyways, fantastic to hear that they are probably going to be back on the water on Tuesday. So I'm not a boat builder, but I am going to give a big shout out to Pete Jarry at this point, and we will talk more to him tomorrow. It's late in the UK, so he's had to crash. So hopefully we can talk more in depth about this, but he's a fantastic boat builder. He actually fixed my boat at the World Championships that I did at Hayling Island in 2019. We had a massive day out on the water in Hayling Island, and my mast came down and it went through my deck, and he actually repaired it for me, and I went on to win that World. So a big thanks to Pete Jarry, but also thanks to him for sending through this amazing information. So let's just have a little bit of a look at this. He's drawn on this screenshot, and we're going to do this with more high-res pictures, guys. So he said this is lighted badly, but the hull is cracked all the way up to the turn of the bilge and under the board exit, and there's a long crack running forward that you can see with that green line that he's drawn forward. The whole outer skin is probably delaminated from the core over the area of the cracks. Looks like the whole panel flexed inward as the boat landed. The section that came out is then peeled uni fibers off the outer skin. The hull is aluminum honeycomb core and uni skins. Most likely a larger section has been cut away to remove the delaminated section. He goes on, and I'll let him explain in his own words tomorrow. And then the second one is the longitudinal in blue. Basically, the whole thing broke because of the side force as the boat landed. When you watch the helicopter footage from behind as the leeward foil leaves the water, the boat starts going sideways instead of forwards, and it lands like slapping your hand flat on the water. So that is some incredible insight there from Pete Jarry, and I'll get him on the show tomorrow in some form or other to actually talk us through that with some better resolution pictures and really go in depth on that, because basically what they're doing to get back on the water is a feat of genius. And as Terry said, they're really setting the bar for boat work and what they're turning over in the shed. So who will face up against New York Yacht Club in the semi-final? We now know it's Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. What changes are they going to make? What will we see going forward? Do they need to have a head out of the boat? Here's Francesco Bruni. Hopefully his bottom third doesn't say Terry Hutchinson.
No, it's not really problematic, because I think the development that we made to the boat this last week was quite impressive. I think the boat was going a lot better than the week before. We have our foils, our new foils. The boat is going very well. We just have to see where we made some mistakes. I'm sure there were a lot of meters lost in the maneuvers. There were a couple of moments in the race where we lost a lot, and yeah, we have to just analyze those moments, I think. Yeah, I think it's very clear that Ineos is racing very well tactically around the course. They are not easy to beat. Also, when you have a big lead, they can really stay in the game. Today, I think they had like that downwind where they gained like 3/4 of the advantage. That second downwind was quite painful, because I think they were in a lot more pressure than us, and there was not much we could have done. And then the race was open again. But I know, I think what they have is nothing special. Every time they won against us was a very open race until the end. So I'm sure that we can win races. That's no problem. Yes, I think that having the luxury of having somebody free to look around is something very good. But we cannot do it on our boat at the moment. And I think we have to stick with our plan. I think we have been sailing well. Tactically, I don't think we have done big mistakes. Today, I think we made 2 bad tacks, and that the race was there. I think today I don't have many regrets on the tactic side.
There you go. Francesco Bruni wrapping up Luna Rossa's race yesterday. And I guess there he's admitting that they lost the race. But my goodness, didn't Ineos Team UK win it? Here's a little bit of footage from the village yesterday afternoon. Them winning the round robin series. So he gets his team up on stage there. The whole team too. There's quite a few members in there. Looking good. But as Ben said, it is a very long way to go. And what are the main lessons that we've learned out of the Prada Cup round robin? Well, I think for one, we can assume that all these boats are going to develop and change and improve. Ineos are quick. What can they do with another 3 weeks in the shed after having 3 weeks after the Christmas Cup, so to speak? So, yeah, that's going to be insane. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, will they make any changes to their setups? They're just as fast. New York Yacht Club, they're going to be on the water. So we've learned that. and I'm really excited. We also know these boats break. That's intense. And we know that they're all competitive when they're in their own modes. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens come Friday. We'll see New York Yacht Club matching up against Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. They'll do 2 matches on the 29th. And my goodness, it's all on from there. What will the weather look like? Well, we're a little whiles out. As we know, it's Sunday, but check this out, guys. Looks like breeze on. This is about when the race will be happening, and probably again on that course C, that extended course C that's been created. But you can see here 15 knots all the way through to a potential 20, 25 knots. Let's have a little bit of a look. Yep, increasing all day. Oh, so, I mean, if this forecast holds true, and this is 2 of the main models that they've been using, there may not be racing, or it's going to be very sporty for the first day. And this is where the meteorologists come into their own, because on Wednesday, not only does American Magic have to measure their hull, they all of the teams have to declare their foils, their sails, etc. for that weekend of racing. And then the next Wednesday, they declare for the following weekend. So there's consistent updates and consistent development, but they also have to be measured and declare ahead of time. So, yeah, which I find absolutely crazy, because, you know, when we're on the beach and we go, oh, will I do this? Will I do that? Oh, wait, we're on the water. Let's shake out a reef. I mean, it's a very, very different ball game. So, yeah, I think that's what I wanted to share with you today. We will finish off with a bit of the racing footage and just another quick recap of what went down yesterday in case you missed it. We saw a major issue on board Ineos, the Cunningham
Race
problem.
committee, we would like to request a delay, please.
Ineos Team UK, we copy that, and we'll add a 15-minute delay to the start clock, making the new start time 17:15.
And that was the first card for a delay ever played by a sailing competitor in the history of the America's Cup. Off they went, off and racing. A small splashdown from Ineos there gave Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli an advantage, we thought, coming into the start.
Okay, all the way? Yep, all the way, go hard, go hard. Go.
Luna Rossa were a little early and let them out of that position there. Ineos led, then Prada led, then Ineos led, then Prada led, and then Ineos led, and there was a 1 second split at the last top mark. Down they came to the finish. A port and starboard.
Protest.
A hail for a protest, but no cigar, and Ineos won the race and the round robin of the Prada Cup, the Challenger Series for the 36th edition of the America's Cup. Just absolutely fantastic racing. If you're watching right now, I encourage you to go and tell 3 of your friends today that aren't sailors how fantastic this is, and get them to watch so that we can spread the word of sailing and try and share it with more people out there. What a day for our sport, and what a day, oh my gosh, that we have ahead of us too. The Vendée Globe. If you're not watching, have a look. Get the app. It's fantastic. I know this is an AC chat and wrap right now, but I'm also posting those updates on my page. You can follow me on social media on all of your channels if you wish to. We are, of course, right here on Facebook, and we are also on YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. But you can find us Adventures of a Sailor Girl or at Sailor Girl HQ on Facebook. We are also on Instagram at Sailor Girl HQ on Instagram is where you can find us, and I'll just bring us up to speed there on Instagram, and indeed on YouTube and Twitter. I've been live tweeting the racing. It's been so fun to be back on Twitter. I have missed it, and really looking forward to the next few days. We will run through that boat damage in more detail. Remember that you can send your messages of support to the American Magic guys working hard in the shed. And there's no racing today. So I guess I should have led with that. There's no racing today, but I'm still here with you guys, and I'm still live. And you can see in my caption there the story about why there's no racing on today as well. So great to be with you. Have a fantastic day, evening, wherever you might be in the world. And I look forward to seeing you soon for our next AC Chat and Wrap.